Lahore. The world media has named the ejection of the new conflict among Palestine and Israel a serious catastrophe for endeavors for reconstructing relations in the Center East. The truce among Israelis and Palestinians is not anymore set up, and billows of scorn and sufferings are floating again in the Center East. There is tension on Saudi Arabia and other Bedouin nations to relate to Palestinians, their kindred Bedouin, which would forestall further warming to Israel. The New York Times composes that the conflict will probably influence Biden's discretion to standardize Saudi-Israeli relations. Surveys show that most of Saudis go against strategic relations with Israel, and Crown Sovereign Mohammed Canister Salman is finding it hard to carry what is happening to ordinariness. Saudis have more compassion toward the Palestinian reason and aggression towards Israel. A full-scale war would probably uncover and kindle these feelings, causing a tough spot for the Saudi government. The conflict among Israel and Hamas takes steps to grow into a territorial struggle, as it has proactively imperiled President Biden's endeavors to assist standardize Saudi Arabia's relations with Israel. U.S. authorities are centered around halting the conflict, and there is no more discretion to standardize relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel. As per American research organization Atlantic Chamber, in the event that the assault is an endeavor by Hamas or Iran to stop the exchange among Saudi and Israel, it will confront response. Israel will attack Gaza with an exceptional presence in a sense. This will be the new premise from which Riyadh will currently need to arrange the way forward for Palestinians, which they have demanded during chats with Israel. Saudi Arabia, in its job as the guardian of Muslims around the world, may now decide to welcome Gaza's regular citizen pioneers to Riyadh, to proceed with discussions with Israel. In any case, the plan will be an eventual fate of Gaza without Hamas, and that will be a non-debatable beginning stage. As indicated by a Bloomberg report, Hamas has ruined Biden's arrangement to reshape the Center East. Hamas could do without the American concurrence with the Saudis and Israelis. It appears Hamas held the rejection power on Middle Easterner and Israeli discretion. The three nations, US, Israel and Saudi Arabia, were moving towards a three-sided understanding, which might have reshaped international relations of the district and then some. In any case, the circumstance disturbs the Palestinians, and Hamas chose to explode it. For oil, it may not be 1973 once more. Yet it very well may be terrible, composes the Washington Post. It's not difficult to draw matches between October 2023 and October 1973. An unexpected assault on Israel and rising oil costs. The worldwide economy won't experience another Middle Easterner oil ban that will significantly increase the cost of raw petroleum. All things considered, it would be a misstep to misjudge the probability that the world will confront delayed high oil costs. This emergency isn't a rehash of October 1973. Middle Easterner nations are not joined to go after Israel. Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Saudi Arabia and the remainder of the Bedouin world are watching the occasions as onlookers, from the sidelines. All around then, interest for oil was blasting, and the world had depleted its overabundance creation limit. Today, utilization development is moderate, and is probably going to dial back further as electric vehicles have turned into a reality. Likewise, Saudi Arabia and the assembled Bedouin Emirates have extensive extra limit which they can use to contain costs. This might influence the oil markets in 2023 and 2024. The most prompt effect could be assuming Israel infers that Hamas adhered to Tehran's directions. In this present circumstance, oil costs might rise altogether. On the off chance that Israel doesn't promptly answer Iran, the repercussions might in any case influence Iranian oil creation. Any Center East oil emergency would help Russia. In the event that Washington forces sanctions against Iran, it could make space for Russia to win piece of the pie and get greater costs for its own endorsed barrels. One reason the White House chose not to see Iranian oil trades is on the grounds that it harms Russia. Thus, Venezuela may likewise benefit. The English paper, Transmit, composed that notwithstanding endeavors to standardize relations, Saudi Arabia has faulted Israel for the conflict. The crown ruler said he had cautioned of the risks of Israeli treatment of Palestinians. Riyadh was near a memorable arrangement to standardize attaches with Jerusalem. A senior strategy individual at the European Chamber on Unfamiliar Relations think tank said the proclamation was genuinely unbiased and reflected how Riyadh was adjusting various interests. There are worries that the contention could prompt more extensive territorial strains that could sabotage Saudi Arabia's continuous standardization converses with the US and Israel, and possibly reinforce Iranian impact. Al Arabiya composed that significant General Rahim Safavi, consultant to Iran's incomparable chief Ali Khamenei, said, "We salute the Palestinian contenders. We will remain with the Palestinian warriors until the freedom of Palestine and Jerusalem." As per the Iranian news organization Fars, just 2% of Saudis need typical relations with Israel. As per American media, the slope, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Iran guarantee that main Israel is answerable for the assaults of Hamas. Each of the three nations seemed to help Hamas in the heightening struggle with Israel. The US and European pioneers promptly censured the assault and upheld Israel, while three Center Eastern nations scrutinized the country for its treatment of Palestinians. A senior counsel to the Iranian government obviously upheld Hamas in the contention. As indicated by the report, Iran has been financing and providing Hamas for a long time. The Qatari Unfamiliar Service likewise faulted Israel for the savagery.